I want to say something, and I'm going to preface this by saying that as a producer, Brandon, and editor, we're going to like gauge whether or not this is appropriate to like keep in the episode. Mm-hmm. But earlier today, there was a shooting that happened in a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There were 2 children that were killed, 17 were injured, and the gunman turned the gun on himself, took his own life. And I, doing a podcast, being on the internet, having conversations, I work with kids, I have kids. And so honestly, I wrote something and I want to read it because I don't think that I could say it. I don't know if this is eloquent, but I don't think that I could say it the way that I would want to say it.
Unless you had it written first.
Unless I had it written first. So forgive me for reading, but what I wrote down was that in a week, in 2 weeks, maybe a month or more, we'll go back to our lives like normal. And this is just going to be a story that we tell. Because unfortunately, so often we'll offer thoughts and prayers. We talk about things need to change, but nothing seems to change. And it happened again. And it's not enough to just have an anecdote that we use to remind ourselves that things can and should be better. We should be able to do more. I hope we're able to do more than just hope that things would get better. I want to be able to say that there's a simple solution, but there's not. There's not a simple solution, and to think that there is naive. Some people are evil, and evil exists, and it preys on the most vulnerable people. We can offer all the thoughts and prayers we want, and that might be a nice idea for the families trying to find some sense of peace or some sense of understanding, but it does nothing to the bigger problem. People will make this political and talk about gun laws, and maybe there's something there. Others will blame progressive ideas. This is what happened when I was growing up in church. We've gotten away from God, and now evil has more of a foothold. And so what happens is whatever side of a religious spectrum or political spectrum we fall on, we use these things as a way to promote whatever agenda we're pushing. The truth of the matter is that 2 children are dead. Their lives were stolen from them, and what they could have offered the world was stolen from us. We can't just say it's about this, or this is what needs to happen, or guns don't kill people, people kill people. We have to stop with these platitudes. We have to do more. It's evil exists, and it doesn't matter what side we land on. What happened today supersedes sides. It makes me want to keep my kids in my house all the time. It makes me never want to let them out of my sight, but to do that would rob them of something completely different. So what do? We talk about it for a few weeks. We offer our thoughts and prayers, and we hope something gets better. I don't know if voting for certain people makes this better. I don't know if voting for certain people makes us feel safer. I don't know if voting for different people makes us be safer. It might. I don't know if tighter gun laws will make this happen less often. It might. I don't know. But I do know that no parent should drop their kids off at school, and as their kid walks up the sidewalk and into the building, the parent thinks to themselves, I hope that doesn't happen at my kid's school today. I do know that our kids deserve the chance to grow up, and because they're vulnerable, they have little that they can do to help ensure that that happens. But we do, as adults. We can do more to ensure that our kids have the chance to grow up. We can affect laws. We can affect who we vote for. We can together be a voice that's loud enough to shake the foundations of what has been to make way for what could and should be. Evil exists. It always has, and it always will. But it doesn't get to win. It only wins if we let it. It only wins if we stop. So please don't stop. And again, I'm not calling to any particular course of action, but don't stop talking. Don't stop asking questions of our leaders. Don't stop asking questions of our school officials. Don't stop asking questions of our lawmakers about what can we do? What should we do? How can we make it better and safer and more assured that our kids get the chance to be kids and to grow up? Don't stop talking. Our kids need us now more than ever. So don't stop. I have 3 children, and I have had that thought where I've dropped them off and I've watched my 7-year-old girl walk into school, and I've thought, I hope my school is not in the news today. And that is the worst. That is the worst. And so I want to do more. I want to say more. I want it to be fixed. But parents have to bury their children this weekend because of a senseless tragedy. And I want to say something about it because I don't want to act as if it didn't happen. And we have fun and we laugh, and the podcast world is great. And this episode is going to air in 1 week from today, just under 1 week from today. I don't even know if this is still going to be talked about in 1 week, but it happened today. And I don't want it to not be talked about because we are almost 30 years removed from Columbine. That happened in 1999. And I remember when that happened, everybody was like, well, I mean, there was this idea. It was like, it's the worst thing that could ever happen. It's a once in a lifetime thing. And if you look at the statistics, hundreds of times since then. And again, this podcast is not a political podcast. We're going to get into that kind of commentary because it's part of our lives, but that's not the nature of this. It's called Does That Make Sense? Because we want to try to create, I've said it a bunch of times, we want to create a little bit of chaos and a little bit of fun to try to make sense of the things that we can't control. We can't control what happened today. It doesn't make sense. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep asking the questions. Why? How? What can we do? And so to the people in Minnesota, I have some friends who live out that way. I went to some grad school classes with some friends who live out in that area of the country. Just know that I don't want to offer thoughts and prayers, but I want you to know that it's not lost on me the fact that there are people in your communities that's lives will never be the same. And I recognize that, and we're with you as much as we physically can be. And I can only do what I can do in the corner of the world that I exist. But the internet and the platform has opened that up a little bit. And so I just want to add my voice to this thing and say if you are of a voting age, if you're of an age that can call a school board, if you're of an age that can offer to volunteer or to educate, I don't know what the solution is, but don't just sit back and shake your head and go, man, another one. Like do something, call somebody, talk to somebody, learn something. It doesn't matter. Just do something other than say, shucks. And then secretly in the back of your head go, glad that wasn't me. Because that's not it. That's not it. So I want things to be better. I want you to be encouraged. Hope is one of the only things that cannot be taken from us. It's one of the very few things that we only lose it because we give it away. Don't give it away. Grapple it, fight for it, hold on to it until you don't have any strength left, and then hold on longer, because that's what makes hope hope. Does that make sense?
There it was.
It was there. I do it. It's natural, but I do mean it. I want things to make sense. And so don't just hope, but use that hope to do something, anything. We have to do more. And so there's all kinds of resources out there. Maybe we'll look some stuff up before we post this and we'll link some things. Maybe there's a GoFundMe for the families that somebody will create. I don't know. We'll look into it and we'll link some stuff in the description of the thing. So people can do something, anything, either to support the families or the community or to reach out to lawmakers or board of education directors. This is a Catholic school. They have their own separate stuff, but whatever. We'll do what we can. So what we're going to do now is, it's a heavy way to start, but we're going to take a quick break. And then I didn't want it to happen without it. I didn't want it to happen and then us just come and have a great time in a podcast and then it just feel like we were tone deaf. That matters to me because like this happened to people. Like I'm a parent. I have a 7th grader, I have a 5th grader, and I have a 2nd grader. And I hurt today.
Yeah.
And so with that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to have a good time today. I want you to enjoy the rest of the podcast, but just don't miss this moment. Take a deep breath. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.